Hi, I'm Davi.
Hi, I'm Kelly Eden.
And we're going to show you how to be a magical unicorn.
So stay tuned if you want to figure out how to do this makeup look. Starting with Makeup Forever HD 115. It's a lighter shade than Davi's natural skin tone, but we wanted to pale him out just a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and run this over his lips. Since we're going to be using a neon green over his lips, I'm just going to cancel out any of the pink that's on there. I'm actually using a lot of foundation right now. It's because I need a lot to be able to cancel out the actual natural color. You can always take a soft brush and start smoothing everything out, and it's going to automatically blend into the skin.
This is your game over. Sorrow and sadness. Welcome to Ultima.
Now that I have the level of coverage that I want, I'm going to set it in place with Makeup Forever Super Matte Loose.
What is dead can't die, 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 die.
So now I'm going to end up contouring his face. Even though the contouring is not the key element in this makeup look, it actually plays a really big part. So what I'm going to start doing is just carving out the bottom of the cheekbone. I'm using the Anastasia palette. And then I'm going to go right by the eye socket. And then I'm going right under the eye. You can actually use quite a bit of this because this color is going to help everything blend. I'm going to use a little bit just down by his jaw. Finally, I'm going to go up by the bridge of the nose, and I'm going to bring it straight down. And then I'm going to wrap it around the ball of the nose kind of early, and you're just going to shape it into kind of a tip. And it almost looks kind of like a fox nose, but you're just defining it very gradually. You don't want to use too much shadow, but just enough to where everything is defined. And then we're reshaping the appearance of his nose. I'm going to go in the very center of the bridge of the nose, and then I'm stopping right before I hit the actual ball of the nose. I'm going to use a little bit right on the brow bone leading up. I'm going to place a little bit right on the bow of the lip to make the lips look a little bit more pouty. And then finally I'm going to add just a touch right on the third eye, if you will. The concept of this was to do a more dramatic look with the skin to make it look more like he was sick. So I'm doing a dramatic contour here to really define all of the bone shapes. I'm also going to use a little bit more of a blush color because when you are sick, you still have a little bit more blush. So I'm adding just a very, very light touch of pink around the contouring lines. And that's actually going to help you blend in your colors and help the dark meet the light, and it smooths everything out. I'm also using a very light kind of skin tone pink because it's a complementary color of green, so when they're next to each other, they're going to flatter each other. But you can see the difference on how this is not only just blending more, but it also gives that effect of that he is looking a little bit more flush. So now that I have a basic skin graft down, I'm going to go ahead and move into the more dramatic makeup. And what I'm using right now is a chroma kit from MAC. It's just a wet makeup with, it's just pure black. And then we're going to do Davi's signature jawline. So what we do is we just use a paddle brush And we actually make the face look a little bit more oval, and it really defines everything and it makes everything pop out. When makeup artists are wearing black, it's just because we want everything to be the focus on the makeup. Nothing is going to flatter colors more than black or gray.
Broken in front of me. You took what I was, robbed me of everything, barred me from trust. Now I'm just suffering.
Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do is the lips. We did not have a neon green, so we decided to make one. It's really easy. Now the technique that I'm using is not exactly for every day, it's mainly for photo shoots. So I'm going to use the Lime Crime eyeshadow brightener. And if you guys haven't used this stuff before, it is no joke. It comes out as pure white. And it pretty much brightens anything tenfold. You can use a lip brush. And I'm going to go ahead and start lining these lips. You want to work pretty quickly because the stuff does dry pretty fast. Also, it really helps if you have exfoliated lips before you start, because if you have dead skin, it's going to start snagging and the color is going to be inconsistent.
My intent is break your death wish.
So now what I'm doing is I'm adding the Sugarpill Lime Green. I'm going to use a flat brush, and then you just tap it right on top. You're going to need a couple layers. So you want to keep adding shadow to make it really solid and consistent. So now we're going to do the brows. I'm using the Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade in Ebony. This is the closest thing that you can get to black. So for this, we're just doing a natural brow, and I'm just basically filling in what he naturally already has. I'm going to add a little bit on top just for definition and making it just a little bit more dramatic. I'm using the least amount of product right in the center of his brow, so you get a nice soft ombre effect. I'm going to brush very lightly as I go. Brushing it is going to help blend it into the skin. However, you don't want to brush too hard because it will pick up too much product.
Strength the day, strength the night. Give me strength beyond my sight. Let the power burn in me. Dark magic and blasphemy. Intoxicated with.
And then I'm going to extend the brow just a little bit.
The spirits rise. Let the
And then brushing as I go.
voices calling in every direction. Demons crawl from other dimensions. Hexes hiding.
So I'm going to use the Lime Crime eyeshadow helper. This is just a basic primer from Lime Crime. I'm going to use a basic paddle brush to get it on there. You can always use your finger, it doesn't really matter. Just make sure it's on evenly. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use the MAC 226 brush. I'm going to dip back into the Sugarpill Lime Green. And I'm going to just start basically buffing this in over the crease. I'm going to be using a lot of this color because everything is going to fade into this color. You're going to end up extending this color just out into the eye socket just a little bit. It's going to end up taking part of the contour just a little bit. This color works really well when you pat it down. If you try to blend it, it's going to fade a little bit. And we want it really bright, so I'm just going to keep adding.
Rings are beckoning, light the candle, feed the flame, spill the blood, repeat the name. Skull Kid, gonna slice your tendons. Skull Kid, begging for repentance, throat slit, ready for inception. Sick with the worst intentions, hidden in the dark with the devils of the night. Pushing your limits to the very edge of fright.
I'm going to pat just a little bit underneath the eyelid. You don't need as much, but you're going to feather it just a little bit.
Life in the occult is a fiend, can undo. There's a light inside a tunnel, but you'll never make it through. Stand for something.
I'm going to take the same brush and start patting it up into the temples just a little bit. It's going to blend right into that contour that we added earlier. I'm going to do the same thing right below and wrap it around the side of the cheekbone.
Scientists, once you go, no turning back.
If you're not able to keep up the color, all you need to do is keep patting it down. If you use the fluffy brush and blend it in circles, you're going to lose the color.
Finds what is great, a chosen fate you cannot do. Darkness finds the light in you.
This eyeliner smudges really, really well, so you can use as much as you want. It's going to go ahead and blend into the look. The next thing I'm going to use is the Anastasia Cream Waterproof Jet. This is a cream eyeshadow. Turn it down. And I'm going to pat this all over the lid. You want to work really quickly with this because it dries really fast. It's going to work best if you use this with a paddle brush versus a fluffy brush. And I'm just staying over the lid. I'm using whatever is left on the tip of the brush to kind of fade it into the crease just a little bit. You're going to take a little extra, go ahead and look down, and I'm going to tap just a little bit more off the edge of the eyelid. It's going to extend the eye a little bit as if he was wearing eyeliner. And look up. I'm going to meet that with the bottom. There's hardly anything left on my brush. I'm basically just smudging it around. I'm switching back to my flat brush. I'm going to dip into a matte green eyeshadow. This is a matte color. Look down. And I'm just tapping this into the seams, just so everything has something to blend into. Black is fading into that darker green and then the lime green. So it's a nice bright cascade of color. And then I'm extending this shadow just out into the corner of the eye a little bit. That's just going to extend the look of your eye. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the bottom. Final touch on the eye is actually just a liquid eyeliner. This is also from Lime Crime. This is called Citrus. So this is the Citrus eyeliner from Lime Crime. We're actually going to be using this right in the waterline. This is not meant for the waterline. You can get it to stick if you put an eyeliner down first. So since we have the black down there, this is going to stick a little bit better. So I'm pulling this down. I'm going to use the very tip of the brush and I'm just kind of scaling the sides. Right now it's a really thin layer. You can gradually build it. With double stacked lashes. These are from Sugarpill.
Without great sacrifice.
The look. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave comments below and I'll check in every once in a while and see if I can answer you guys. All of the products used are linked below. We also had screenshots through the entire video that you guys can look at.
We're grateful for you to join us. Thank you so much for taking the time out and may joy be with you all.